My name is Danielle O'Connor-Akiyama. I am from Canada, Toronto, Canada. I've been a painter for 40 years and really have dedicated myself professionally to that art form. I came to Japan to study mokuhanga because I'm very interested in watercolor. When I was a young painter, I only did watercolor and sumi-e for the first 20 years. So I love the painterly quality of that, the fluidity of that. While mokuhanga is very restrictive in terms of its carved outlines, I like pushing the limits with it and using it in a contemporary sense. And I think that it's very permissible to be able to be painterly with mokuhanga and to therefore use the watercolor and the raw pigments in a very fluid sense.
Okay? Too much, too much, too much, too much. Not enough, too much. Oh, more quickly. Oh. Turn. That's good. Left-handed, that.
My name is taRRvi Laamann. I'm an artist from Estonia, and I'm also DJ and teacher in Estonia. Mostly I'm a mokuhanga woodcut printing artist. I got understanding that Mount Fuji is like mokuhanga. The root, the paper makers, the blade makers, you know, the famous samurai blade makers and so on, all these tools, they have to be like perfect. All these many people together, and finally you're gonna have perfect shape, Fuji shape, the perfect mokuhanga prints.
As an artist, I work primarily in woodcut. I spend a great deal of time carving wood, printing, and I print almost exclusively on Japanese paper, washi. This handmade quality to mokuhanga, or to the materials of mokuhanga, the washi, the wooden boards, these natural elements, this kind of collaboration between material and process and image development. I guess it's a whole constellation with a lot of different stars that I'm interested in. I like to have my hands on very sensible materials. I like to know that those materials have been handled by hands before me. But I guess if I had to boil it down to one point of mokuhanga that says this is why I want to make mokuhanga, it is because it has a light. There's a lightness to it, there's an airiness to it, there's a depth in that air, a whole luminous atmosphere that one can, with practice and trial and error, can, with luck, accomplish in their own pictures.
Mokuhanga is an art form that you never stop learning. There's always more that you can learn. There's always more that you can do to improve your skills. And every artist that I have spoken to approaches it in a slightly different way. And so it's really good to be around all these other mokuhanga artists to see what their approach is. And I've learned quite a lot from all of them. And I think they've learned from me as well. So that's just been really great.
My work during this residency, I really came with two ambitions. The first was to improve my precision, and the second was to develop ideas. I took a workshop with Shoji Kitamura, who is a carver. He's a master carver, and he is very innovative, but he's still using a lot of the traditional techniques of mokuhanga. And for me, that was very interesting. My initial tuition in Japanese woodblock was very traditional, and a lot of the procedures we covered in this workshop followed on from what I'd learnt. it was very good for me because it's moved my ideas forward into the contemporary realm while still keeping familiar techniques. His sharpening workshop was especially useful because I was taught that before, but I'd always found it very hard to follow. And this time I think I knew a little bit more, and he was very clear. The second workshop with Katsu-san was very, very interesting. He's a very innovative printmaker, and his work is linked with digital, which I found absolutely fascinating. It's not an approach I've ever taken, and it was great to see how the combination of modern technology and traditional methods worked so well. I found his workshop more of a thinking workshop for me. It helped me to develop my ideas more, maybe rather than just doing practical things. So again, very important for me in this residency to stretch my ideas, and I think I'll be taking back a lot to Britain from there, just in different approaches and new ways of working.